course, once you've decided on whatever gear you're going to use, you need to start producing content. And again, you want to be thinking of your content from an SEO standpoint. YouTube is a search engine, and to get any kind of traction, to get any number of subscribers going, at least at the start, you need to be producing content that people are looking for. And to put yourself out there where people are looking for you. So when you're thinking about content, again, who is your niche, who is your audience, and how are you going to serve them? And a great way to come up with content is, what questions are clients asking you on every initial meeting? What kinds of questions are contractors asking you throughout the life cycle of a project? What questions would you want, or would you be asking fellow colleagues? And then is that being repeated? And honestly, this is just a Google search. There's another tool called Uber Suggest, where you can find different content that's out there on the web, and you can look at stats on how much is being searched, so that you begin to generate. You want to pull out those keywords, and the keywords, they become titles of your videos. They become subjects of your videos, and you start to get found video by video, subscriber by subscriber. I would suggest that you plan out a few videos. Plan out a few videos ahead. And maybe think of it in terms of a playlist. If I was going to take someone down a journey, if you're going to take someone down the journey of the architectural design process, how would you break that out for someone? The big one that I started with, thinking about SEO, not necessarily SEO, but just about content generation, was FAQs. Was the questions that my clients, first that my potential clients were asking when they were reaching out to me via a Google search or on house.com, and just asking, how do I get started? What's involved? What's involved with working with a design professional? Real basic stuff like that. And then, do I need a permit? Do I need a contract? Things where they're obvious answers to us. Whether it's a yes or no question, or whether you've got this answer that you could probably spit out in your sleep. But there's hundreds of thousands of people probably asking the same question across the world, if not tens of thousands in your country or in your state. So why not be the one to answer it? Why not be the resource on the internet to answer that question? That was kind of how I started my content generation. The thing about SEO was what questions are people asking offline, and then as you dig into online, you'll find that a lot of those questions are getting asked as well. I've heard so many different grades, but think of it, 7th or 8th grade language. You don't want to fall into the trap of ArchiSpeak. I'm not flaming on the podcast. It's a great podcast, but ArchiSpeak, too much jargon. You don't want to be all jargon all the time, because your audience pool, your subscriber pool, it just shrinks and shrinks if you do that. So explaining things in layman's terms, so to speak, is actually a great way to go, especially on a platform with a reach of 2 billion people every month. So that would be content. So once you planned out a few, you can start getting into, what is your calendar going to be? What do you have the bandwidth to produce on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, perhaps? Maybe you're only doing once a month to start, and that's totally fine. Setting yourself up on a calendar is important for the algorithm, for the YouTube algorithm, to promote your videos, to promote your channel. They like to see consistency. I am guilty of not being consistent on YouTube, whether that's that just work really picked up through 2018 and 2019, whether it's the fact that I have a 2 and a 4-year-old son, or 2 and a 4-year-old sons, or that I have shifted focus. I have 2 channels, to be honest with you. So my focus shifted from the design, the homeowner side, over to more the marketing side. But the idea of consistency does come into play if you are doing this to start to build awareness for your personal brand or your firm, and you want to build your subscriber base. Any notion of consistency will play into the YouTube algorithm, and you'll start to show up on people's homepages. And as an architect or landscape architect, you'll start to show up on the pages of those fellow YouTube creators whom you're probably subscribed to and whose videos you probably watch, because it's all related content. considering it's owned by Google, there's so much AI in the background that we probably don't even know about. They're scrubbing all the audio. They're picking out every single word. They are transcribing each and every video. Probably once this gets uploaded, every single word that I've been saying gets transcribed, and they decide who to show it to. It's super sophisticated. It's way beyond my pay grade. But the idea of consistency is a big part of that algorithm. Are you a consistent creator? Someone that's potentially gaining traction, someone that they should show to other folks going forward, whether it's through related videos or whether through a direct search and search term.